Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
On the latest edition of the Bloomberg Surveillance Podcast, Lori Calvasina, RBC Capital Markets. Single best idea. We'll make it quick today. Stay warm out there. It's like cold. I remember 1977. And I got a lot of feedback on this from people that were around then, where I was in upstate New York, and I had the clearest memory of 30 and 40 days where it was below freezing, and even a 10 or 15 day period where it never got above zero. And I remember walking down the street, and the sound of the snow was totally different than anything I'd ever heard before. I don't think we're going to do a duration of 1977, but be careful out there. That's a lot of cold across this nation this morning. We had a great set of guests today, and what single best idea is two snippets of conversation, something to bolt into your other podcasts, like The Big Take with David Gura out on Bloomberg. But we started with Lori Calvasina of RBC Capital Markets. She follows mid-caps and small-caps, her twisted view of Mag 7.
What I've been seeing with the Mag 7, if I look back over the past years, we'll kind of go into earnings, right? And the banks come in and they have good numbers, and then you'll get some of these other cyclical kind of overlooked parts of the market working. And then you might have like one of these Mag 7 names kind of stumble a little bit, and it feels like in the middle of that reporting season, you're seeing the leadership shift and the earnings dynamic shift. And then I feel like all the worker bees around Wall Street go back after reporting season winds down. They go to conferences, they've had all their callbacks, they go, on their bus tours and things, and suddenly I noticed the Mag 7 numbers start coming up again. And so it feels like in the moment, there's a reaction to fade it, but when people really start to give it some serious thought and reflect, the strength comes back. It's a really, really odd dynamic, to be fair.
Lori Calvasina, she was outstanding today, an extended conversation. We're really trying to feature these this year, early in the hour of 7, 8, and 9. We're getting him in around the busy schedule of our guests, but an extended conversation to lead off the hour is one of our great themes this year with our intern team. They've been doing a great job of getting these people in. And this is a bit of an odd one. Alberto Gallo was on with immense acclaim of looking at distressed desks worldwide, and particularly Europe. He's with Andromeda. And Alberto Gallo is great, but I had to do an audible. And when I do an audible, sometimes it goes down in flames. Not this time around. Sir Lewis Hamilton visiting Ferrari this weekend. Hugely emotional and symbolic within F1 racing. Ferrari has been a moonshot. Alberto Gallo, fixed income guy, on Ferrari as a stock.
Tom, you got to drive a Ferrari, but you don't want to buy Ferrari bonds. You want to buy Aston Martin bonds. You need to buy bonds of companies that are more on the edge, that will pay you more for financing. So in Italy, I would say credit spreads are really tight. The sovereign debt BTPs is tight, but the opportunity is in companies that are a little bit more higher yielding. And I would say for the first time in a long time, we have the Southern European countries which are doing better. They have a weak euro. They have more tourism, more inflows of foreign capital, and also they have been fixing their act a lot earlier than Germany and France, their business model. So Spain, Italy, Portugal, Greece, there's pretty good opportunities there, better than core Europe, and actually better than the UK, where the government's still struggling to attract investment.
Alberto Gallo of Andromeda Capital. Just can't say enough about that conversation this morning. I'll be honest, I've never heard him so optimistic about a workout of Europe. He was hugely constructive. On your commute across the nation, we're on Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Good frigid morning, 99.1 FM. Major shout out to Joe Matthew and Katie Lines for inaugural leadership with David Gura, helping out Yeoman's Duty by David Gura as well. And of course on YouTube, humbled by the growth of Bloomberg Podcasts, you can subscribe to Bloomberg Podcasts. This is single best idea.